Yeah, hi Holly. So, what are we doing here at Old Bakery Gin? Obviously, we're not selling gin anymore. We're not doing anything like that. We're actually a bunch of plumbers. So our main job is plumbing. The gin is really just a glorified sideline. So here we are, Old Bakery Gin in Enfield. You can see we've got a commercial gin still here. We've got a series of very, very small gin stills here. And in the crisis, we're trying to make hand sanitizer. But one of the big issues is that we can't get hold of the denatured alcohol. Now, there's two types of alcohol. There's obviously lots of various types of alcohol. But for making gin or high quality spirits, you would use a neutral grain spirit, so that's fine. But there's big tax implications on that. So Customs and Excise take £28 and 74 pence plus 20% VAT for every litre of alcohol that you produce. But there is something called denatured alcohol, something that we've got no experience with, nothing we've ever had to buy before, which is basically similar. So it's pure alcohol, but the manufacturers have put something nasty in there so that it can't be used for drinking and for sort of those kind of purposes, and that is tax exempt. Now we can't buy that. Now we can make that into hand sanitizer. We've got all the facilities, we've got the production facilities here, but we can't buy the denatured alcohol because we don't have the appropriate licenses. So the big issue for us is we've obviously applied. It normally takes 4 to 6 weeks, and customs are, I'm not having a go at customs, but somebody needs to make a decision because, in their minds, they've said that, they've reduced the bureaucracy and it's now 1 to 2 weeks. We're in a national crisis. People are dying. 1 to 2 weeks is just not acceptable. It's just utter nonsense. I had a rant on social media last night. Please forgive me for that, but it's just absolute nonsense. So we're hoping to. So I'll tell you what we've done in the meantime, because we literally can't get hold of the alcohol. I'm going to show you what we're actually bootlegging and physically manufacturing our own alcohol. Now we could buy this we could buy in the right quality, but we just can't get it. It's only a few miles up the road. We're in North London. It's in Essex, but because of paperwork, we can't get it. So we're making our own. And here we are. So this is just a small selection, but I've just brought over. We've got some more next door. So this is literally water, sugar, yeast. This is how they did it hundreds of years ago, illegally. There is no sort of tax liability on this because we're making this to give away. So we're not. But the biggest problem with this, each bucket here that you see holds 25 litres of homemade alcohol at about 14% alcohol. Well, we need that to be at over 60%, so it kills the coronavirus. So the way that we get that 14% alcohol up to over 60 is we run that through our gin stills, but in doing so, we lose. So for a 25 litre drum, we would be lucky to get 4 to 5 litres of pure alcohol at 96%, which we cut down with water. And that's taken us a week. And this is just nonsense. I mean, it's doing something better than doing nothing, but that really, really needs to change. So yeah, it would go through our gin stills. You can see this one here. This is our large commercial still. You can see here that once the alcohol, the diluted alcohol is placed in, it's heated up. It comes through this condenser. This condenser is cooled down by cold water, and literally, once this is adjusted, neat alcohol will pull out here from what we call the parrots for 96%. So it's a small Fisher Price operation. We can produce hand sanitizer. We just don't have the facilities to get the raw materials because of bureaucracy. So it's very, very frustrating. Fingers crossed, and let's hope somebody makes a decision. I was on the phone to Customs and Excise for an hour and 30 minutes this morning, just holding. Now, it's not their fault. We're in a national epidemic. People aren't people aren't in the offices, so they've got skeleton staff. So it's not it's not the people in the call centres, the people that the cold face. But someone very senior. I messaged number 10 last night. I did get a reply. Saying someone just needs to make a commercial decision. We're not a fly-by-night operation. We are not Arthur Daly. You know, we're not going to disappear next week. We will still be here. As long as we follow appropriate procedures. I mean, with regard to making the hand sanitizer, there's all sorts of recipes floating around on the internet. HMRC or Customs and Excise, the one that they recognise is WHO, the World Health Organization. So that's what we would be working to. Again, getting some of the other materials is proving very, very difficult. Raw ethanol prices were, as I understand from speaking to the trade, at about £1 a litre, only very recently, but now it's £5 a litre. Is there a shortage of ethanol? Have raw materials gone up? Well, possibly in an epidemic, but is there profiteering? You know, these are questions that need to be asked. Anyway, over to you. I'll leave that and put this on your radar. Thanks, Holly.